January is usually the coldest and most unforgiving part of winter for most of Canada, and for a while, it felt like winter had almost taken a break. Over the past few weeks, a noticeable January thaw pushed temperatures well above seasonal levels in many regions, giving a brief taste of early spring. But that mild stretch is now coming to an end, and winter is preparing a strong comeback as we move into the second half of January. As we head deeper into the month, the overall weather pattern across Canada is undergoing a major shift. The warmth that dominated the first half of January is being replaced by a colder, more traditional winter setup. This change will open the door to below normal temperatures for many areas, along with several chances for fresh snowfall as winter reasserts itself across the country. During the first half of January, above-seasonal temperatures spread across much of Canada. In British Columbia, Vancouver has yet to record any snowfall this season, which is highly unusual for this point in winter. Calgary experienced an extended mild spell, with 5 straight days climbing above the freezing mark. Even in southern Ontario, strong southerly winds helped temperatures surge to around 16 degrees Celsius on January 9, a level of warmth that felt completely out of place for midwinter. That midwinter thaw, however, is now fading quickly. A new and more wintry pattern is setting up across the country for the final 2 weeks of January. This transition will be felt from west to east, though not everyone will experience the same type of winter conditions. Across Western Canada, a persistent ridge of high pressure will continue to dominate the weather pattern. This ridge will help lock in generally drier conditions and temperatures that remain above seasonal norms, particularly for British Columbia. While this may sound pleasant for day-to-day life, it is not good news for mountain snowpack and ski resorts, which rely on consistent snowfall during January to build a solid base for the rest of the season. This ridge along the west coast is also expected to extend northward into Alaska. That positioning is critical because it helps set up a cross-polar flow in the upper atmosphere. In simple terms, this allows very cold Arctic air to travel southward from the polar regions, diving into the prairies and eventually spreading eastward across central and eastern Canada. As a result, the prairies will be among the first regions to feel the return of true winter. Temperatures are expected to drop well below seasonal levels at times, with repeated shots of Arctic air reinforcing the cold. Wind chills will make it feel even harsher, especially during overnight and early morning hours. Along with the cold, fast-moving weather systems will bring periodic snow, creating typical midwinter travel challenges. Further east, a persistent trough in the jet stream will settle over eastern Canada. This feature will help lock in colder than normal temperatures across Ontario, Quebec, and parts of Atlantic Canada. With cold air firmly in place, the region will see multiple opportunities for snowfall through the second half of the month. Some of these systems may be weaker clipper-type systems moving in from the prairies, but others could become more organized depending on how the broader pattern evolves. One important wild card in this setup is a strong ridge of high pressure centered over the southern United States. If this ridge pushes northward at times, it could clash with the cold Arctic air moving south into Canada. When warm air from the south meets entrenched cold air to the north, it often creates an active storm track. This would increase the potential for more significant winter storms affecting Ontario and Quebec, rather than just quick-hitting snow events. In that scenario, some systems could bring heavier snowfall, mixed precipitation, or even brief periods of freezing rain, especially in southern and eastern Ontario and parts of southern Quebec. Forecast confidence on individual storms is still low this far out, but the overall pattern supports a more active and wintry finish to January. Atlantic Canada will also feel the effects of this colder regime. While some systems may start as rain along the coast, colder air pushing in behind them could quickly change precipitation over to snow, especially inland and in higher elevations. Gusty winds will remain a concern with passing systems, adding to the risk of blowing snow and reduced visibility. In summary, the second half of January is shaping up to look and feel much more like winter across much of Canada. The brief January thaw is over, replaced by colder temperatures, repeated Arctic air intrusions, and several chances for snow. While Western Canada stays relatively mild and dry under persistent ridging, central and eastern regions should prepare for a return to classic winter conditions through the end of the month. Stay prepared, stay warm, and keep an eye on the forecast as winter makes its comeback.